Hey guys, Coldbrew here. Welcome back to another raid video, Chimera run with Titus. You'll see some big damage coming through today. How does the team work? Basically, I'll show you guys. It's a Titus Wixwell team with Senna. We're using Ramantu, and then we're using also a buff extender, basically Androck here, giving us the increased resistance as well. That helps a ton with just resisting the boss, because the boss has a pretty high accuracy. You kind of need this combo together of champions. These are not easily accessible champions, I know, but we want to push as hard as we can, and what I want is eventually to build something like this guy has, which is where I got the inspiration to copy the team basically without knowing what exactly this guy has in terms of gear and stats. I'm just trying to see if I can push it the same. Obviously, Titus needs to be built differently, okay? At least for my account, I need to boost the stats a little bit, but I'll show you guys the stats of every single one of the champions that I am plan on sending in, and show you guys whether that's accessible or not. It all depends. So Senna, starting out with a protection set, it gives you the 9-piece bonus, protected buffs, also 5% more damage per each buff. The guy who has more damage there, he's using a supersonic set, where the supersonic set, I have basically zero of it. I just blindly sell it, to be honest. Just increases any turn meter field effects cast by the wearer, decreases any turn meter effects. I guess this is okay, but overall, the turn meter that you're getting is cool, but I don't think that's what's gonna be giving me way more damage. But here's Senna, 332 speed. You need the crit damage, by the way, so she doesn't get attacked by the boss. So she definitely shouldn't have the lowest crit damage in the team. That's one basic thing. And then the other stats are just survivability. Resistance, it's not that she needs resistance, but if she's got the 6-star, it's much easier to get it. I have cruelty on her because I didn't have it on other champions, so I switched out the blessings. And then in terms of masteries, I do have timely intervention, which helps when somebody dies, so that she gets a little bit boost in her turns, and then she gives the revive to the team. So there's the turn meter fill relic that I have on her. Obviously fully skilled up, she's going to be the leader, and you're utilizing this A2 to get way more speed. So let's go over Androck. So Androx has got the shield set and a 4-piece Merciless. This gives you the chance to decrease your cooldowns when you're attacking. The shield set is just there to give that extra shield at the start of the run. High resistance, like 437, 344 speed. And the other stats don't really matter. But I am also running another Journal of Necrotos on him, because he does boost the turn meter of the team through the critical hits inflicted by allies feel the turn meter of all allies by 5%. So this team will be getting insane amount of turns. And following up with Wixwell, let me show you Wixwell. This one, the stats were a little bit difficult for me to get, especially for Nightmare. It's a push, so I'll have to see what I'll do. And in terms of his defense, I'm currently running him with higher defense than Titus on purpose, because Titus was getting attacked by the lion form, and I'm trying to see if Titus can survive through that, because lion form goes through shields when it attacks you, and Titus was dying for some of my runs. So I tried this out. 6.6k defense, low crit damage, 146, 377, 321 accuracy and resistance, and I'm running a Dragonstone relic to give me extra defense, so he goes a little bit higher. In terms of masteries, War Master is okay. I could have gone extra accuracy here, honestly, but I'm still thinking about his masteries. But pretty cool combo. The reflex set is also pretty cool combination with Merciless. It just double the chances to get your A2 going and growing the shield as quickly as possible. And then we're running also Ramantu. I don't have any blessings on Ramantu. I'm just using a Molten Death spell here to give me extra accuracy, to be honest. And then a Feral set, which gives you extra 5% damage per each debuff placed by the wearer. So if you place 4 debuffs, if I had another, blessing, I would put Brimstone on him. That will allow 5% more damage. So it would have been at 25%, but he's doing 20% extra damage because of the A2. That's pretty cool. And masteries, just War Master, extra damage through there. His overall damage, 103%. Yeah, he's getting targeted. by the first form, the ram. So that's okay. Accuracy needs to be high, so north of 500 for you to go through the boss. And then finally, guys, let me show you Titus. So I'm running Zeal on him, but I need to do more runs on, what's it called? The Sand Devil to boost up my defense maybe a little bit through here on the chest plate and get a different boost here on the boots. I'm still thinking, since running Merciless and Zeal, it's okay, but if I can't get higher stats, then maybe I should run just Merciless and see where that takes me instead. So those two sets give you good amount of damage, 5.5k defense. I think it's very low, especially, well, without the blessing, it's okay. It's not high for sure, but 338 crit damage. This should be boosted much higher. I think if I can boost this much higher, I'll be seeing way higher numbers. Resistance is non-negotiable, especially if you cannot protect your buffs. Resistance is non-negotiable, plus the increased resistance buff, so you kind of need that to do the damage that you need. Cat's Gaze, obviously, for Chimera, and then running also the 10% more damage on bosses blessing. The multi-hit skills, I should change this. Actually, I had this gear on. I should change this and give different gemstones here. Will just allow me to do more damage, right? So this one, the warrior will ignore 3% more of the defense. That's going to be way better than the multi-hits. Level 15 Cat's Gaze gives me how much? 18% ignoring defense. You're using the A2 basically, but maxed him out. And then Helm Smasher here. Eventually, with Crushing Rend, could switch out to Flawless Execution, but that's, yeah, that day is not coming. So if we have a look at the custom AI, what I've said is basically the Edge of Death always to be for reviving my allies as a priority. They don't always die, but that's what I wanted to have. A2 just goes on. If boost Terminator, it gives you increased speed, continuous heal buffs, and then since Senna's got the ability to boost up my damage because of the buffs, you know, the continuous heals give me basically extra damage because of the protection set. Androck here is locked out on his Metamorph, and we basically open up at the start with increased resistance that helps us with resisting the buff removal, and then Radiant Claw here to increase the duration of all ally buffs. Basically, the two buff increasers are Wixwell. He opens up with the Codex, so the intercept, increased defense, the shield, and then he just uses the A2, at least for the ultimate form. Titus always uses the A2, locks out the A3, doesn't use the A2 on the Ram form because that basically will kill him. I've noticed. You're hitting for tens of millions. You're gonna die. Raman 2, just the A2 always. That helps. And then Androck. Yeah, I covered Androck. So that is the custom AI, guys. Pretty simple. And the speeds is what you can see. They don't get boosted at all from any areas. Not yet. But yeah. These are the stats. Like, look at this, 450 resistance, and then you get the increased resistance buff. You kind of need it, but it's very slow Androck, very slow Titus. Was very difficult for me actually to get this slow Titus, but we'll see if I can change these stats and get the defense much higher with the crit damage also much higher. Maybe without a Zeal set, it is possibly done. Without a Zeal set, possibly. I'll have to see through my gear and see what I can do. Let's go and see how the run goes, guys. We'll see from the start. I'm not going to show you guys the full run, and I'm also going to show you the run on Nightmare that I've did with completion all the way to the end for the damage. So this is the team. This is going. All right. So we start out with the debuffs. The shields are not that great, but you can see we're going to start now extending the duration of our buffs. Okay. So I've got 3 on the shield there, and then 4 on the shield there. No, 4 and 4 now. So we're pretty good. The reason that Titus is so slow compared to the other champions is because if he was faster, he would be going through the rotation of the shields much quicker, and I'm not able to keep the shield's duration up. So the most important buffs that Titus must have is increased resistance and the 2 shields. Everything else, you see he's ramping up 1.5 right now. He's ramping up in terms of damage. That is basically what I need to do. And if I had more accuracy on Wixwell, I think I would have been okay. With more accuracy with a decreased attack on the second form. But we'll see. I'll be testing this team out to see if I can boost it a little bit more, guys. But for now, we're doing the growth of the shields, and this will eventually, we'll see Titus just go up and up and up in terms of damage, and that's basically the team, right? It goes on auto. It doesn't care about anything else. You just have to be careful about Ram and Lion in terms of the stats that you place on your champion. So for Ram form, your Reviver shouldn't have the lowest crit damage. And for Lion form, it's going to target the champion with the highest defense with the, what's called Hunter's Mark, right? And that can potentially kill even Titus with the shield because it goes through the shield. So my Titus stats are good, but I had some failed runs because of that. So that's what I've been testing things out. But this is the team for now. The damage is, really nice. You get good amount of points. You see 3 million per hit now on turn count 3. This will be growing and growing and growing with Wixwell. Look at that. He's boosting all of these buffs. All of these buffs on the team that boost up the shield. And then getting as many of the trials done on auto. It's possible to do 5 trials, but some things might just not work on auto. That's what I want to run. I want to run auto teams. I don't want to run manual teams. Look at that, 8 million on turn count 3, looking very strong, very good. Thank you guys for watching. Let's go with the run, and I'll catch you on the end of the run for my nightmare run, right? You'll see that, because this one I'm still tinkering. I might not finish the run today. I might still change some stuff and show you maybe an ultra nightmare run at another time. So stay tuned. Thank you all. Okay, guys, we're reaching the end of the run. So like 57 turns out of 65. So this sort of combo just runs with insane amounts of turns per turn that the boss takes. As you can see, I did like 1,120 turns so far, versus the 57 that the Chimera has taken. And you guys know at the 65, the Chimera is just going to run away. 1.1 billion damage, 11.5 billion clash points with only 5 trials done. So unfortunately, in terms of trials done, which I consider more impactful because of the potential for mythical relics, although the chances are so low, it's crazy. I have 0 mythical on 2 accounts. So I see it as an insanely difficult push to go all the way there to get the mythical. But anyway, the point was building this team with Titus, just slowly building up those shields and seeing where the damage potential can go. In terms of champions, it's very unique. You need buff extenders. You need unique champions like Wixwell. You need Senna for this to give you those extra turns, and Ramantu, which is very difficult to actually acquire. I've seen players out there say Ramantu is more difficult to get than Marius at this point because of how Tag Arena is and the difficult teams that you could face. Okay, they've widened out the gap now to get into the gold tiers, but still Ramantu is what it is. So the reason that this team works at this point is just the amount of debuffs that you can place on the bosses. It just boosts up your damage potential. So defense down, weaken helps a ton. 16.5 million damage we're hitting here. I've seen it go at 18 million throughout the run, and it kind of varies. All right, you need to be building up the shield. It's just it feels that it caps out after a while. So we get the grown shield here. So I have 1, 2 here. The buff extenders work their way to boost up the duration of the buff so that it doesn't expire, and that is why Titus is so slow in this specific combo, and the other champions are relatively fast. So like north of 300 some of the champions, and then others a little bit under. I think the reason that I haven't pushed so much in damage is I need just higher stats on my boy Titus with the gear that he has. So Zeal plus Merciless. I could try just Merciless and see if I can get his defense much higher and crit damage much higher, but it feels kind of capped at the moment on where I'm at. But it's still pretty cool to see. Look at that, 60 out of 65. It's going very slow. The total turn count is going crazy by 1.2 billion and 12.5. I've built 2 teams on this account, and one does like 17 trials and this does 5. But the amount of clash points I can give to the clan that I'm in right now is so much different. It helps to be able to get these amount of points in case. Look at that, 22 million hit. And I've got 0 blessings, by the way. So the blessings would also, even 1 star, or actually 3 stars would have been nice. 4 stars would have been amazing. 5 stars helps with the resistance, so I can lower the stats on everything else. And then 6 stars gives you extra speed, which wouldn't help me that much, but it opens up crushing rend for insane amounts of damage potential. So he's gonna be in my wish list until I get a 6 star. And if I can compare it to how Trunda was, guys, if you guys remember the golden age of Trunda, everybody was doing Trunda teams, which people are still doing. I got tired of it, honestly. The manual runs for hours, it's just not me. The same thing goes with Chimera, right? Like, I've built this team. It could potentially do more damage with a manual run with different champions. I'm not doing that, guys. I don't have the willpower to sit for 1 hour and go through potential failed runs as well. So that's hours of my day just so that I can get you know, a little bit more damage here and there. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I kind of like the team. Overall, it's just a good high damage team in case I want to have something that is full auto. My 17 Terrell team, for example, is not full auto because I have to manual and select specific you know, I gotta metamorph my mythicals, change them out. Like, I've got Galathir, he needs to place decreased resistance specific points he needs to block out the boss's skills for the Viper form. So different teams, different benefits, right? So this one, I just wanted to see how far I could push the damage. So this is not on the highest difficulty. We are running Nightmare. The reason for that, I think, is just stats. I was finding difficulty get the stats with decrease to be able to apply decreased attack with Wixwell. I've got decreased speed on us. That's not bad, actually. Kind of helps with increasing the duration of our buffs. But if I didn't use Senna, by the way, I could have used something else, I feel like, and still do good damage. It's insane. I believe the gear difference that some players have in terms of potential for damage for Titus. Because if I had, like, you know, double the damage here, which I can't think of how to just double the damage without the blessings. All right. If I had double the damage, my clash points would have been almost 30 million, right? And that is also depending if I could push a little bit higher to get 1 trial here. There's, I guess, increased attack, block debuffs. No, I don't have that. Block buffs, HP, I don't have that. Like, if I could push some specific trials, which I'm not sure which ones I could. Fear, True Fear, we can apply it with Romantu. Actually, we can, but I don't think it works on the boss. But yeah, I could push for way higher damage. Just want to see where this is gonna go. Look at this. It's almost a 1-to-1, 1-to-10. Sorry, 1-to-10 in terms of points with the multiplier. At 11, did the trials, and we're gonna end this with. How much is this gonna go for? I don't know. We'll see. The rewards are gonna be so low though. So it's kind of defeats the purpose. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it in terms of helping the clan we reach the top 3, and in terms of just getting trials for myself. So look at this, 1.36 billion damage dealt on the Nightmare Chimera. Actually pretty cool.